does good damage, but still, with so little right click, even at level 1 Enfeeble, taking away more than 20 damage from the Weaver just makes it so hard. And we can see how much more aggressive they're playing. Yeah, he's just going to go for it. He just feels confident that he can just burn mana, do some free right click, while his supports go ahead and mana themselves back up. In the 2 solo lane situations, we can see Lifestealer's doing quite well, but KIS dominating his lane, in fact. And, you know, that's a little surprising. I mean, he should be able to do well against the Lifestealer, but really, he's way further ahead than he has any business being.
Right, it looks like he's definitely practiced the matchup before opting for an early phase boost instead of the early Midas. BCZ will go on him.
Here we go. Leading off, they will try to lock him down. He's got the phase. He has used them. He's still... Yeah, he actually might make it away here. And this is what I'm talking about. I mean, even if he had Ice Shards, he just doesn't have the mana for it. Or other way around. I mean, even if he had another... Yeah, even if he had Ice Shards ready, the mana is just going to continue to be a problem for Tusk. But for the moment, KIS able to make it away, and that's a pretty big deal. I mean, that's more free farm down here for Black. Black continuing to do really well in the face of this tri-lane. Storm Spirit's the big winner there in mid, but Black sitting at 22 is, and you know, when you're under this kind of pressure, more than he's actually doubling up the Weaver now. Not a bad start.
Yeah, and most people give the mid matchup to Storm Spirit, but they're actually even on creep kills, 28 for Magnus and 27 for Storm. So Magnus being even is actually a pretty big win for him. So I think Mouz is doing very, very well in this early game. Even though they're down 1 kill and they gave up first blood, I still think they're doing very well given their lineup and given their lanes.
3 of the top 4 farmers right now, all belonging to Mouz. Lifestealer sitting at 20s, the next closest after the Storm Spirit, who's in the 2nd position right now. Weaver not doing the best. Let's take a look at the levels. Top 2 on the board, Magnus and the Prophet, both sitting at level 6. Storm Spirit at level 6, no surprise, given he is solo mid. Lifestealer's not far behind, but we can see, again, that's what, you know, if you look towards the bottom there, we're actually going to see a kill here. This should not happen. This simply should not happen. That's a free kill for KIS, who tracks down a Lifestealer in a one-on-one situation, and that is just unfortunate.
Yeah, wow. He was desperately trying to get level 6 and trying to infest to heal up, but unable to seek out that experience.
How did that happen? I wasn't even watching. Magnus able to kill off a Storm Spirit one-on-one in solo mid. Are you kidding me? And now the fight's going to break out in bottom. We're going to see Tusk eating a lot of damage. Pos being pursued out, maybe cleaned up by Dread. Yep, will be. Oh, he nightmares himself, but... Oh, he denied himself! He commits suicide now. Black might be able to get a return kill. He's just going to go for it. One more auto attack. That'll do it. Storm's there to get the return, though. So biting off a bit more than he could chew. And that one death, though, being robbed of RoX.KIS, they do end up notching an anti-mage kill, though.
Yeah, and RoX.KIS is losing lanes that they're not supposed to lose. I don't think that Lifestealer should lose this badly to a solo Nature's Prophet, as well as what you commented on mid with the Storm Spirit dying to solo Magnus. I don't think that either of these should happen.
Yep, totally agree. And he's actually, he's going to die again if he's not real careful. He's got Infest, so yeah, that's what he's planning to use. But the treants are blocking him. He's continuing to take some right-click damage. Now there's a Sprout. Open wounds have been used, so he is going to re-engage off of Rage. KIS' turn to be forced back under his own tower. Uses his ulti. But let's go back to the last hits and see where we stand. They are making up some ground. Lifestealer now up to 35. He's on par with the Nature's Prophet at the very least. So good turnaround, all things considered.
And Nick still needs items. He's very poor right now, even though his last hit is decent. He has died one time. He only has Boots of Speed. Oh, is he going to die again? Oh, no, he Quelling Blade's out.
One more auto attack. Is he going to go for it? Oh, he thought about it. Definitely thought about it. Now he's going to try to TP away. Here comes Storm Spirit. Not going to get there in time. So he is able to withdraw and make it back to safety. Magnus staring at an Invis rune. Now let's see what he wants to do with it. Just got his bottle back. We'll go ahead and wait to stick that in that way. Looks like some aggressive potential is going to be here. There's a Nightmare on Tusk. Let's see if they want to follow it up. Black's below half health, though. Syndering getting into position. There's a Telekinesis following the Fade Bolt. He will use the Snowball. And now the Shards are there. Good Illuminate follow-up as well. Well played. As they add another kill, very good kill to have. Here comes Magnus. He's looking for targets. He does not. He does have his Arc Boots. Didn't think he did, but Arc Boots now done, so he's got a little extra movement speed. Either way, they make it away. 3-4. RoX.KIS battling back.
And we haven't even seen Koikvo on bottom lane, aside from the occasional Wrath of Nature. Once he starts coming down here, I think it's going to spell a lot of trouble for RoX.KIS. They have 4 people down there right now looking to put a lot of pressure on Black. He only has his Ring of Health right now, so still quite a bit away from his Battle Fury.
We got 4 down here. Here comes the Storm. Going to be spotted out. They're going to go right on Black. Engaged on and hit with absolutely everything. And now Synderen going to be trying to run away. Ice Shards will be off the mark, but Solo's right there on him. And ready to slow him down once again. Now, nice wand charges. And still not enough. In the meantime, now this is what I would have expected to see out of RoX.KIS in Game 1. And this is why I think we both agree they lost Game 1, is they did not take advantage of the inherent aggressive nature of their lineup. This time, though, not squandering the opportunity, getting the job done.
Yeah, and that is every Storm Spirit's dream. Level 3 Rubik, and poor Synderen has just 2 branches and a magic stick, so not even boots yet, and he's gonna die to Storm Spirit unless he gets some levels. He really needs level 6 so he can get Shikuchi, but he has to also protect Black, so a very difficult role for him right now. And Paz is solo smoke, but he is only level 4, no grip up yet. 2 points in Brain Set, 1 in Enfeeble, and 1 in Nightmare.
Fada? Now, you know, Fada is going to be another key. I mean, anytime you have a solo mid hero, it's always a key hero. But playing on the Magnus, trying to buy time for your anti-mage to farm, and dealing with the aggression that's going to be coming out of this lineup, this composition of RoX.KIS, him being in, not just being in the right place at the right time, but executing, is going to be really the make or break for this team, I do believe. Because RoX.KIS, I think, learned their lesson in Game 1. They're not going to sit back and just let their lineup strengths go to waste. Instead, they're going to look to start taking fights very early. Mal's anticipating that. It's going to go ahead and push mid in the meantime.
Their execution and teamwork seems to be a lot better than last game, and they're having way more successful ganks. It is going to be a problem once Fada gets his Blink Dagger. He's still 1,300 gold away from it, though. Hopefully, Storm can pick up his Orchid relatively soon.
Got 3 here ready, trying to defend this push out of Mouz. Kind of a half-hearted push, you know, it's free damage, you know, you're not going to commit to it. Black still being protected. Now, here's a question for you. I mean, we're starting to see more and more movement out of RoX.KIS. You know, at some point, it seems like they're going to need to just leave Black alone and start moving this Rubik and this Bane around, not just for their own good. I mean, trying to free things up there, that's a great ganking combination to begin with. But just to go ahead and get some extra experience for Black. And now we're going to have, yep, death on top. As the Nature's Prophet is cleaned up. Another good reaction out of RoX.KIS, and they add another kill to the board.
Yeah, this Storm is doing very good work around the map and getting okay farm, but he has been running around trying to keep pressure up on Black on bottom, on Koikva on top, as well as a Magnus in mid. So he's trying to do everything that he can to... Oh, and he gets a deny in middle too.
Not too shabby. Making the best of a bad situation. Once again, they have hooked back up in bottom, still continuing to apply pressure to Black as best they can. Back to the last hits, Black was on top for a while, no longer. Now we're going to see Solo spotted out, as well as the Lifestealer, where there's a good Sprout that's going to lock him in. He'll be cleaned up. Open Wounds is there, but the damage is just too high. He does use Infest, though. Koikva might be in trouble. Trying to make a run for it. There's the Mana Void, even trying to buy time. Gives the old Okie Doke. And one Shockwave out of Magnus. Enough to add the kill to the board before Koikva suffered the consequences. So make it 8-5. Couple of decent kills coming out from Mouz. Did cost them a tier 1 though.
Very unfortunate for Solo that the rune did not spawn top. He was in position to grab the 12-minute rune, but he had to jump away as soon as it didn't spawn, and Magnus was able to skewer. Although the skewer did not hit, he was able to follow it up with a nice RP.
We can see he's making his way back over here. He doesn't have RP, does have skewer. He's got help coming. He's under cover of an Invis rune. He's going to look to find himself a target. 4 now are here, and now they're going to engage on the Black. Black going to be caught with the Vortex, brought back. Dread's right there. Here come the Ice Shards, and he is cleaned up. The damage is just so high. And once again, I mean, there we go. He skewers them both as Synderen set him up. But the Snowball gets him back into the fight. Here comes Koikva wanting to fight as well. Solo going to re-engage, going after the Rubik. And will be cleaned up with a couple of right clicks. RoX.KIS coming out swinging hard here early. And really putting this lineup through the paces. Koikva. So it looks like he may get a kill on Solo here. As Solo lacks mana, therefore can do nothing but get right-click to death. Oh, Shockwave from Veda. Manages to send him back to the well. 6-10 now. We got 16 kills on the board in a 14-minute game. We both expected it. A lot of aggression everywhere on the map.
And Black has actually switched builds now. Looks like he was going for an early Battle Fury, but after dying a couple times, he's 1-3 right now. He's going for probably Strength Shreds with that early Belted Giant Strength pickup.
Seen Black do that before. Start out, oh, nice skewer attempt, but the Lifestealer able to rage away. Shows off his brand new shiny Blink Dagger. Up at top, Dread is making some progress. He's got an Aqualace, some treads of his own, as well as a wand. And 14 minutes in, let's take a look at the gold graph. We can see RoX.KIS and all the work they've been doing paying off. They're about 2,000 gold ahead. The experience, a little less than that. But still, 2,000 gold, 1,500 experience at this stage of the game. Not insurmountable by any stretch, but not bad either. Koikva being pursued, but it's going to have help on the way. Now, RoX.KIS could be punished here if they're not real careful. Here comes Lifestealer via the teleport, though he's got a DD. Phase boots mean he's quick, but they're going to try to crack the tier 1 top, it would seem. Magnus should be in position and will be. Here he comes under cover of smoke. RP is ready. They're going to grab the Nakes. There's the Sprout to lock him in. Shards come out. Synderen in a lot of trouble, eating a lot of damage, but so is the Lifestealer, who phases through the treants. And they are going to pursue this out. There we go. There's a Shockwave. After the Infest, he skewers one back. And he's still got the RP. If he wants to use it, he may not get the chance, and he will get the chance, but he will be cleaned up immediately. Now, Black joining in the fight. Good Man avoided a lot of damage to 2. Storm Spirit forced to bail out. Synderen now going to be targeted down by the Lifestealer. Black, other than the Mana Void, just not in position to fight. He is going to be caught out. Blinking away one more time. Not going to be enough. And Koikva leaving Pos, poor Pos behind. And he can't even get the kill on solo. Thought he might after the brain sap, but just not the case. 14-6. And looks like they should have a chance to take this tower. They will take this tower. Actually, Prophet. Yeah, Lifestealer got killed. I didn't even see how the Lifestealer died. Was it a Prophet ult?
Nope. I actually didn't see either.
Huh.
I was busy looking at the really low HP Storm that just got away.
Yeah, no joke. Anyway, they do get the Lifestealer at the very least. And now he's going to go ahead and just sell out on Koikva. And that should be that. He's going to try to TP away. Wow. No right click. Went through his whole arsenal, but unable to bring him down in time.
So the tower count's still only 1 tower down for RoX.KIS, or they have one of their own towers down, and they've taken down 2. So still a lot of action around the map. I like this already, and I'm really glad that RoX.KIS didn't decide to just defensively try lane and outfarm Black. That rarely works. And Black is really, really poor right now. He still only has Treads and Ring of Health. Usually we see a Battle Fury on a triple lane AM maybe by the 14-15 minute mark if everything is going well, if everything's going super well, maybe 13 minutes. But it looks like his Battle Fury is going to be way delayed at this point.
He honestly, it wouldn't surprise me to see him skip it. I've seen Black do that before, where he'll get into trouble like this, feel like he's not going to have it out at a good time, and he'll then go something like straight up Manta, and then maybe ask one of his teammates to build an early Vlad's for him and for the whole team. So we'll have to see if that's an option he's willing to use. But for right now, I mean, RoX.KIS just well in control of this game. 4,000 gold and experience is their lead right now.
Yep, going straight to Manta would not be a bad choice at all, especially with the Magnets on your team. That's just a free Empower, or a free Battle Fury, rather.
Exactly. And here we go. Solo has the Passenger, looking to add another notch to his belt. And might have a chance to do so. Black spotted out. Black does manage to turn the corner just in time. There's a bunch here in mid, though. Feta is among them, however, does have RP up and ready. And RoX.KIS looking for a single target, not wanting to start a full-on fight right now. All this time, though, Dread is farming up. And Dread is going to have his Lincoln Sphere crazy fast.
Yeah, looking at the net worth, it looks like Weaver is actually on top. That is not what I would expect.
Mm-hmm. And, oh, that's a crappy time to pause. Oh, that's unfortunate. Don't believe it was a tactical pause because Synderen did call it out. But as we can see, Solo just taking a shot right after pause. And yeah, I'd say that's an appropriate reaction. 18 minutes in, 21 kills on the board. 14 of them belong to RoX.KIS. You're watching the KIS Invitational, powered by Alienware. I'm EC, joined by Merlini for the broadcast. We're in the middle of our second series of the day. Mouz leads 1-0 over RoX.KIS. But RoX.KIS in real good shape so far. here in game number 2. Our third series of the day will be coming up at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That'll be 2100 Central European Summer Time. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It'll be Evil Geniuses taking on Dignitas. Looks like, nope, not quite ready yet. Ascender is still having lag issues. Once again, reckon we'll go ahead and plug ourselves. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at AC, at AYESEE. And on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/ACTV. And if you're new to Dota, you want a great guy to follow to learn more about the game, Merlini's the name you need to know. Tell them where they can find you, Merlini.
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/MerliniDota, and YouTube, Facebook, Twitter is all the same, /MerliniDota.
There you go, folks. Make sure you check him out. Cinderin, unfortunately, continuing to struggle with some lag issues here today. Hopefully we'll get him right back into the game as soon as we possibly can. But, you know, we can talk a little bit here, Merlini, about, you know, just while we wait on this fight to break out. This is a very important fight for both sides. Mouz really can't afford to lose too many more engagements throughout the rest of this game. But if you're in Mouz's shoes, you're back in the captain's chair, what's the plan? I mean, other than the obvious, I mean, it's always nice if you could just take a fight when you shouldn't because you land a good RP. But, you know, I think we're both in agreement. Just opting to go straight for a Yasha Manta for Anti-Mage, probably one of the few choices they have left.
Right, I think he definitely needs a defensive item at this point and can't really go for Battle Fury. The problem is Storm's going to have his Orchid somewhat soon. He has one Oblivion Staff, but if he goes for Battle Fury, they're just going to constantly Nakes Bomb him. And even though they have RP and some defensive abilities with Sleep and Telekinesis, AM can't afford to die anymore. He's already died 4 times. He's 1-4, only 1 kill and 1 assist. Cinderin hasn't been doing much this game, but it's really just in the role that he's in, a defensive triple lane with no damage. What do you expect? He's 0-4. He is level 6 though, so maybe he can do some damage with his spell steal. But it's going to be really hard for him to spell any decent spell. Keeper Light, not really too useful to steal. If he channels Illuminate, he's just going to get picked off by Nakes or Storm. He can't really steal from Weaver, especially now that he's extremely close to Lincoln's, and then he doesn't really have any items to sustain a Ball Lightning from Storm Spirit, so not really any good spells for him to steal. I think it's really on Fada to try and get them back into the game. They need to have some very nice baits out, try and, well, pretty much like this one. If he pops out, he could possibly get like a 3-man RP if Keeper walks up a little bit more, but they really need to try and win some engagements by having 3-4-man RPs with a nice Mana Void combo to finish it off.
Once again, very much apologize for the delay. Cinderin continues to have some issues, and hopefully he'll have them sorted out very, very soon. This is game 2 of our second best of 3. Once again, Mouz taking on RoX.KIS. The voices you're hearing in your head, don't worry, you're not crazy. You're just here with us. I'm AC, joined by Merlini. I'll tell you what, man, you know, we got a minute, it looks like. Why don't you tell me about some of the projects you got coming up? You got anything interesting in the pipeline for us? I'm sure these folks would love to hear about it.
Sure, I should be releasing my new website probably within the week, definitely within 2. Currently all I have up there is a catalog, but I'm always working on more content to help out the Dota community. I have a weekly mailbag episode every week that I do on Tuesday, but I'm trying to add more content, more guides, just to help the newer players out, because there's a lot of people perhaps switching over from League of Legends or just friends getting them into Dota 2, and the community grows every day, and I'm trying to help more people. I've been playing Dota for a very, very long time, probably since like 2005, 2006, so almost like 8 years at this point, and I just want to help new players out because it's a great game, and you love it, I love it, everyone watching the stream I think loves it, and there's just so much of Dota, and that's why everyone loves it. It's such a complex game. There's so many different heroes, over 100 at this point, and it's just a fantastic game. Very high replay value, and even after playing for this long, I still don't get sick of it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very proud to be here, my friend. You know, I'm one of the newer faces in the Dota community. I hadn't played a single game of Dota before January 2012, and I am still. I mean, you know, if you look at my Steam time, between time played and time casted, I'm in the 3,500 hour range in the last 12 months. You're 12, 16 months, give or take. And I still feel like I'm barely scratching the surface, which is exactly why I choose to have co-casters like you, my friends. So you can drop the knowledge I lack. And it's cool because, you know, I get to be the voice. I get to talk about the baseline analysis, and I get to sound smart. But then you come in with the really smart analysis, and I get to learn and cast at the same time. So it's a cool deal.
Oh, yeah. It's a good gig for you. And for me.
Exactly.
Another event that I'm doing is on Tuesday. TI3 tickets will go on sale at 12 p.m. Central Time. I think that's 18 GET. It's either 18 or 19. I don't know, one of those. Yep. But they have a countdown on the Dota 2 website, and I will actually be hosting an event on that day from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So tickets will go on sale right in the middle. So if you're waiting around to buy TI3 tickets, whether you be in Australia and have to stay up all night, or if you're in America and have to sneak in some Steam time at work, you can join me on stream, and I'll be doing some fun stuff on that day.
What are you going to be doing? Give us a little teaser. It sounds you're being intentionally obtuse. Give us a little bit of a teaser.
Well, I wanted to organize like a small theme tournament, so it's going to be like 4 teams, 2 sub teams versus 2 viewer teams, and like
awesome.
Team Nature. Like I think I had some notes like Treant, Furion, Enchantress, Beastmaster, that kind of lineup versus like Team Sea Creature, Slardar, Naga Siren, Slark Tidehunter, and I'll try to make them as fair as possible. But it should be 4 teams, all themed, so it should be 3 matches, 6 themed teams, and there will be a prize for the winner, and then I'm going to play some other stuff besides normal matchmaking, which I do almost every other day on my stream. I'll probably be playing some custom games. There is a custom map called OMG Dota, where you get heroes with a random set of skills or skills that you choose. So the other day I had like a Storm Spirit with Flat Cannon and all these other spells, and the game just gets ridiculous. So if you're ever sick of the normal old Dota where especially all pick where you play against the same heroes every time with the same skills, you can always try out OMG Dota, and it definitely spices things up, and I know that a lot of people enjoy playing that more than a normal Dota. So just because this is the game that we all know and love doesn't mean that you can't play it in different ways.
Listen to this pitch, man. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. I'll try to tune in if I can. I have one request, though. Of the teams you're assembling, you have to put together one team for me, and you have to announce that it is a team put together in honor of AC. I want Team Boobs. We have Team Boobs. I want Lena, Queen of Pain, Crystal Maiden. Let's see who else has a nice rack. Who else? Name 2 more.
I'm looking at the lineup right now. Enchantress is female. I don't know.
But yeah, Team Boobs. I mean, you can't. Naga Siren doesn't really have boobs. She has. I don't know. It's like she's wearing like her chest looks like she's wearing like 15 T-shirts at once. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. We'll have to look. But those 3, I want Team Boobs and
Drow Ranger, maybe.
They're perfect. Drow Ranger's got a nice rack. She's all emo, but you know, anyone who went to high school knows that emo chicks can have nice racks too. So we need one more. But yeah. Team Boobs, and then you got to announce on stream, or I'm shutting you out. I'm kicking you out of the Curse Invitational. You guys got to be Team Boobs, sponsored by AC. There you go.
And it looks like Cinderin is having more connection issues. He had to restart Steam actually before this whole shindig started. Well, while you were restarting your router and other stuff, he had to restart Steam as well. So he's been having constant connection issues for the past couple hours or so. Hopefully he will reconnect soon.
Yeah. At this point, you know, filling time's all well and good, but RoX.KIS has stuff to do, I'm sure, so I'm going to talk to an admin, get a ruling. All right, guys, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go ahead and pop the music up just so I can, you know, because we actually don't have an admin in the game right now. There's one admin from Curse who is watching, but I want to talk directly to him and make sure that, you know, basically have a ruling from him. I mean, it's been probably 10 minutes now, give or take. We've been jawing for a while. So I'm going to pop it right back to the front. We're going to hope we can get this underway without a disqualification being necessary, but at the same time, we got to stay fair to everyone, including RoX.KIS, who cannot be asked to wait for, you know, 15, 20 minutes due to a connection issue. So bear with us. We'll be right back. Again, I'm AC. Merlini's here with me. Be here with me all day today and all day tomorrow. Don't go anywhere, though. We'll have the action back underway as soon as we can.
Hello. I'm trying to be unprofessional here. Let's talk more about movies. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh, he has reconnected.
And we're back on stream as well as in-game. Looks like we are ready to get back underway. Synderen having some problems and did manage to make it back in. And yeah, I understand, man. Trust me, I've been having consistent issues with my ISP for a very long time. It is beyond frustrating. So here we go. Back underway, and here the immediate fight breaks out. Forgot this was even happening. Pause is immediately cleaned up. RoX.KIS now re-engaging on the Mouz. Synderen likely to find death as his return, and he does. Now the Polar Punch actually knocks him forever away. RP, though, caught a couple. Mana Void helps clean one up. Yol might be in trouble. No follow-up, though. And Black contributing just about as much as he possibly can, but that's just not very much. He's basically there to right-click any stray targets. He's there to throw out a Mana Void when they group up or an RP goes off. But outside of that, RoX.KIS continues to just dominate this game.
Yeah, they're in such a position of power right now, being able to die this T2, invulnerable at this point, and still managing to escape with minimal casualties. The poor supports are just getting dominated right now. Bane is still level 6, Rubik still level 6, and Magnus dying in the process. Meanwhile, the supports on RoX.KIS are fair. They're doing decently. Looks like Keeper the Light almost has his mech just 150 gold away, sitting at a pretty level 9. And Yol, even though he is only level 7, he has not died yet this game. 1-0 and 10 as the support Tusk.
We can see, yeah, 1-0 and 10. It's not too bad for a support Tusk, and Kuro played a good Tusk, but right now, I got to say I'm a little impressed with Yol's performance. Prophet is atop the CS board at this stage. He's got 188 for the Lifestealer, 85 from Black, so Black is at least moderately keeping pace. The problem is, I mean, if they keep this up, yeah, Koikva just had no chance there. I mean, there was no way they could do anything. Looks like Synderen did manage to get Vortex, though. So that certainly helps. But still, I mean, you know, this is how you beat an anti-mage. Suffocate him. Take the map away from him. And Black, I mean, as you mentioned, we'll see what he wants to build here. I'm going to guess he's saving up for an ultimate orb, because that's really the right choice to make. But right now, RoX.KIS just has total reign over the map.
Yep, they have huge mobility and gank potential. It's very difficult for Mouz to farm anywhere on the map. If it's not Koikva dying, it's going to be Black dying. If it's not Black dying, it's going to be the supports. They just really can't move around the map anywhere safely. Even as 5-man, and with the threat of Blink RP, RoX.KIS is not scared.
We see the smoke up on Mouz. Fate is trying to find himself a target solo, not the one he wants to go on. He may be able to do something here, though. And nope, Black was pinging it. They opted to just leave it alone. So 8-18, we're 20 minutes into this game. And the gold did level out, but that was our downtime, our pause time. So since then, though, hanging right around 3,500, the experience is a bit more in favor of RoX.KIS than that. But I mean, this gap is not insurmountable. It's just so hard for an animation to really get things going when this is happening. When you see Synderen dying for what must be the 15th time this game, just picked off for free by RoX.KIS.
Yeah, Rubik is one of the better supports, but he does need levels at some point in the game, and still sitting at level 6, 21 minutes in, that's a very, very painful life for support Rubik.
Ice Shard's thrown out. There was the mana leak, and yeah, he doesn't have enough mana for an RP now. He'll have Arc Boots up in 15 seconds, so that'll help, but if RoX.KIS just goes for it, there will be no reprisal whatsoever. And Dread with his Lincoln's already done. We just saw it used. or popped, I guess is probably the more appropriate way to say it, but RoX.KIS is actually beginning to play a little bit more cautiously than I would think they would. We see blinding lights used. Now they're going to catch Black. There's that range, that mobility, and the RP spent to try and turn this around. They go 1 for 1. There's the Ice Ball, though, going to lock a couple of them down, and Synderen once again will be picked off. Feta can do nothing as he's mana leaked, and Synderen says lag. Synderen apparently having a rough time in this game, and I'll tell you what, 0-7-1, I can understand.
Looks like RoX.KIS wants to take out this T1 tower and kill Furion on top, but Furion will TP away. Storm bought back, but could not come in time to Vortex and interrupt that TP.
There's going to be another pause from Synderen, and, you know, it really does suck. But hopefully it won't be very long. We'll give it some time. But there will come a point where, you know, and this is a jab against Synderen. Love the guy. I consider him one of my... He was one of the first, I would say, friends I made in the scene when I came in. So, but you can't ask an opposing team to sit and wait through 20, 30 minutes of pause. So, but anyway, looks like they're not too upset as the Keeper of the Light did have to go relieve himself, get rid of some used soda, perhaps used coffee, as the case may be. But another pause here in game number 2. Mouz leads the series 1-0, but looking more and more by the minute like we're going to have a game 3 as RoX.KIS continues to seize control of this game. And, but yeah, back to Team Boobs. Let's talk about Team Boobs some more. Queen of Pain, Lena, Crystal Maiden. Who was the other one you suggested?
Drow Ranger.
Drow Ranger, absolutely.
PA, not so much.
TA's got some, like, whenever you get one of the skins where TA's got her hair pulled back, she's actually got a fairly nice rack. We'll go TA. So there it is. Team Boobs, sponsored
Luna,
by...
Bottom?
Luna, like, I don't know. Bottom's never been impressive, you know, with her, what she contributes in the cleavage department. Luna's voice is just too annoying, man. I love the hero, but God, I mean, and it's not even the voice actress's fault. You can just tell she's trying to put it on so thick, and it comes off so bad.
Yeah. I actually never known Synderen to have problems, though. I think he's casted a decent amount with Toby, and he's been around in competitive play, but this is the problem with competitive Dota sometimes. This is why we need more LAN tournaments.
Amen to that.
More LANs, please.
Amen to that. Speaking of lag issues, mine are well documented. I have no idea what has caused them, by the way. That's the bizarre thing, is I went through an entire season of D2L Season 1 without a single hiccup. Then dating back to January with Season 2, I've been fighting with my ISP. But just to reiterate what I've said in the chat, if you haven't really been reading the Twitch chat, just stay tuned. Stay tuned, guys. My situation will be changing very soon. I actually thought I was going to be able to put details out about it yesterday and couldn't for a variety of reasons. But just keep an eye out. Big things coming your way, and big things coming my way in particular. So anyway... This, I mean, you know, we can analyze this so much, but really, I think we've beat it into the ground. Black's behind. What's he going to do when he's behind and can't even fight? And RoX.KIS just has all the mobility in the world.
He's actually recovering okay. I think one significant problem is that Storm actually does not have his Orchid. He bought back, and he's very poor. He still has the same items that he did like 5-10 minutes ago, and his net worth is actually less than AM's right now. AM's sitting at 5424, and Storm Spirit around 4800. So 600 gold behind Anti-Mage, and looking at the levels, he's still 2 levels ahead though, so that's pretty good. He picks up a lot of experience from the Nakes bomb kills. Nakes is going to run away pretty soon though, 2700 gold, and they do have the Weaver to worry about, him with his Lincoln Sphere and 1200 gold in the bank.
Synderen is going to go ahead and disconnect. Hopefully he'll be rejoining us very, very soon. While we do have a moment, I'll go ahead and do this again, just for those who may have joined us. Again, very sorry for the downtime, guys. I'm one of those guys where I'd rather wait and have quality Dota rather than, you know, just immediately be like, all right, super, you know, too long, you're disqualified. I know it's inconvenient for everyone, but at the same time, I would just much rather have a game reach a natural conclusion. So how about we take a look at our bracket? And again, this is not updated to reflect our first match. Na'Vi did get past QPAT and in the process put together a 12-minute win in Game 1, by the way. So one of the more impressive performances you'll ever see in a professional context there. But They're now awaiting the winner of our third match of the day, which should be kicking off, honestly, an hour from now. So this is becoming a bit of a problem. We are going to have to do what we can to get this match expedited, and I may have to inform Syndrome when he comes back that there can't be any more pauses, just because we are going to end up running way behind schedule if we're not very careful. But Dignitas and EG set to square off coming up in just about an hour from now if we are able to stay on schedule. RoX.KIS, though, looks like they're in a position to force a Game 3. And in the meantime, if they're able to win, they'll await the winner of Liquid and Empire, who square off in our first match of tomorrow. Our second and third match tomorrow will be the losers bracket. So we'll wait to see those matches take shape as we continue on through here our first day at the Curse Invitational. And I'll tell you what would really make me happy, guys. If you could tweet at Curse and at Alienware. Just add Alienware on Twitter if you're a Twitter kind of a person. Tweet at them. Let them know how excited you are to have them sponsoring Dota 2 content. I mean, these are two brand new names, more or less. Alienware did do that tournament, the Alienware Arena, but that's them doing it for themselves. This is Alienware getting behind another organization, a very prestigious organization that is Curse, and throwing money into Dota 2. So if you want to see more of it, the best way to guarantee that, tweet at Curse, tweet at Alienware in particular, and let them know, hey, I'm really happy and really thankful that you're supporting the industry and the game that I love so much. There is nothing more that sponsors love to see than direct feedback from the people they're trying to reach. But anyway, I don't know, Merlini. What do you think? I mean, at this point, we've got admins. It's the first time Curse has admin to tournament, and I'm kind of responsible for a lot of the decision-making process. You hate to see it, but I mean, at this point, by the time Syndrome comes back, it's likely to have been 15 to 20 minutes of pure pause that we've had to cope with.
Right. It's nice to have rules set beforehand so it doesn't play to any sort of favoritism possibly. But, I mean, this is quite an absurdly long pause. And this is one of the problems with competitive Dota. And the rules change from tournament to tournament. I think some of them have like 5-minute pause per team per game. But people have connection issues, and that will likely not be fixed for a very long time. And until then, we just have to deal with it.
Yep. Once again, sorry, you can hear the clickety-clack of the keys, just trying to sort things out in the background. And we should have a ruling soon. Tell you what, I'm going to do what I did before. I'm just going to bounce you right back to the front, and I'm going to focus my energies on making sure that I get the ruling right as it comes straight down from the Curse admins. Once again, guys, thank you so much for your patience. I know you've waited through the pauses just like we have. Haven't seen the viewer count drop, which means you guys are being awesome. You're being patient. Can't tell you how much it means to not only have you here sharing a part of your day with us, but being willing to hang through the issues as they present themselves. So hopefully we'll get back underway very soon. Game 2, Mouz and RoX.KIS. Briefly pause. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
Oh, there he goes.
And we seem to be ready to get back underway. Synderen has returned. I have informed Mouz there cannot be any more pauses. And they have agreed to that, so... Honestly, at this point, though, I mean, you know, I hate this as a caster, too, because it gets me all out of my flow. I have to recheck all the items, see where everyone is. Koikva picked up his Midas. He's on his way to a Shadow Blade, so at the very least, he's making some progress. But RoX.KIS, in the meantime, going to move right on into the Roche pit.
And surprising to see not even 1 point taken into Frozen's sigil. That is very, very good skill, especially for Roshan. But he will pick it up as soon as he hits level 10, which is about 600 XP from now. And meanwhile, Mouz will get a little bit of time to farm. I do not think they have any clue that they're doing Roshan because, like, looks like Fata is trying to bait Blackout, or at least protect him and empower him. But that will be a free Roshan for RoX.KIS.
All right, so here's a question for you, and this doesn't fit in so much of the game in its greater arc, but looking at Black, he's got about 2,000 gold saved up. I just want your input on it. What is going to be the best item to add first, Yasha or the Ultimate Orb?
Well, it depends on what they want to do. If they want to try and bait him out, then an Ultimate Orb. But if they want to just split push and try and elude these ganks because he doesn't actually have a an Orchid yet on Storm, then he could just go for a Yasha and try and power farm and get his Manta even quicker.
Yep. See, I'm always a fan of the old Ultimate Orb first, especially in a situation like this, wherever you're playing from behind. I mean, yeah, if you're on par and you've got your Battle Fury up and you're just trying to get your Manta out as quick as you can, definitely Yasha. But in a situation like this, and again, I've seen Black do, make this transition a few times. I've seen a few teams make this transition and just go, okay, screw it, we're skipping the Battle Fury, just going to get a Manta. I really like getting the Ultimate Orb up first, and there's going to be another disconnect. And looks like they're not going to pause. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to abide by it. We're just going to have to continue to play this game out, I suppose. I actually hate... All right, there is going to be a pause. 2 minutes, then resume. That's as much as we get. But, it is really unfortunate. But, RoX.KIS being good guys there, using up their pause. I'm going to just have to put a timeline on it, though, just because it has been a rather silly amount of time we've had to wait through now. But anyway, back to finishing that thought is, to me, if you're playing behind, the best thing you want is a little extra survivability. And the best way to get that for the cost, especially if you're building it at some point anyway, going to be the Ultimate Orb coming out first.
Right. Anti-Mage's strength lies in being able to split push, though, and evade ganks. If they can try and set up some Observer Wars perhaps here and over here so he can farm the jungle and just farm these 5 camps really fast with Empower and Blink flash farming, then he can farm his Manta decently fast as long as he can avoid the Storm Bombs. But again, as long as he can get Manta like at a relatively decent time, they still have a chance to win this game. The score is 22-9, so over the double amount of kills for RoX.KIS in favor of them, and they have the Aegis right now. I don't think they can fight them like straight on right now. They have to play to their hero strengths, flash farm with AM, and use Empower, and just try and get back into the game and close this gold gap. The gold gap is around 7,300 right now, so not completely insurmountable, and mostly it has to do with Roshan and the 13 kill advantage, but they still have a Midas on Nature's Prophet. He's still looking fairly pretty. He can try and divert some of the attention away from AM and create some space for him to farm.
24 minutes in and about 60 seconds away from having to resume. And I hate to do it, trust me. Synderen's a good friend of mine. I love the Mouz guys. First time I've ever casted RoX.KIS, actually. So getting to know them, but it's the unfortunate thing of online tournaments. There's and it doesn't matter how smooth an online tournament is, there's always a situation like this that arises for one reason or another. I do know, I'm not going to say that just because I don't know what the problem is. But I'll say this much, that Synderen has been having issues in particular over the last day or two. I'm not sure the nature of them, but could be malicious. Don't know, not going to drop that out there, except the fact that it was relayed to me that he was having some struggles yesterday in particular. And I have to resume, guys. But,
RoX.KIS pretty matter in this situation, though. I rarely see teams pause this long for the other team.
And you just really hate to see it, believe me. If this was our last match of the day, I'd be more willing to wait. just can't wait whenever we have another match coming up. And oh, their manner? How manner are they? You mean they just killed it? They killed the... Oh, hang on. Solo. Oh, nice RP. And coming to try and bail him out. Here comes Koikba as well. There's a skewer that's going to bring him through the trees. They're going to pop the H's. So, yeah, the RoX.KIS manners seem to be good until they killed the Rubik on the way back to the base. Poss will end up paying the price. Now they're going to re-engage on the Koikba. Shards are there. And, wow, they just really... Oh, never mind, he used the Shadow Blade. Couldn't tell because he had so many effects on. But did use the Shadow Blade, so he is able to make it away because of that. First point into that sigil, as predicted, did go in. Smondbait. No idea what that means. You speak German?
I don't know. They say Smond earlier.
Yep.
Maybe... I don't know. His name's Smendel, and I don't know what that is either. I wish I knew.
But, anyway... Yeah, the we can see this. This is one reason I absolutely hate whenever someone drops and you have to resume like this. Is, you know, you're gonna try to use the hero, but now it's, you know, you're not really seeing what you should be seeing. It's not real Dota anymore. You've got one guy that's controlling him almost like a lone druid would, and it is just no fun. 10-24 though. We're 25 minutes into this game. 35 kills in a 25-minute game. You could say it's been action-packed. The gold in excess of 7,500, the experience right around 10,000, but Black did opt to go for that Yasha first, so he's going to try to find his farm and try to farm his way back into this game.
Yeah, and Rubik, unfortunately, is one of those supports that can actually do a lot, way more than other supports can, especially with clutch spell steals. Although there aren't any huge ultimates for him to steal this game, Rubik is one of the supports that can definitely turn the tide of a fight, and it's going to be very difficult for Mouz to micromanage both him and another hero. It looks like Paz is taking over the role, though, and having them in the same group. But there is a Nake's bomb. Black just uses Blink.
Here we go. Skewer's there, catches solo, RP spin, and he actually manages to catch two. Shame is, the follow-up just ain't there. Here comes Tusk, he's going to join the party, and that's another kill going the way of Lifestealer. If there is anything that Mouz might be able to take away from this, it's that if they do end up losing... I mean, let's just be honest, the game was almost out of control to begin with. So losing a Rubik in a game that you had you had more or less lost to begin with, not the end of the world. Synderen has rejoined. And very much hated that we had to resume without him. But we'll see if they can keep the towers up. They're not going to keep that one up. Tier 2 mid does drop.
Yeah, and no RP right now for another 70 seconds. So things are looking very bad for Team Mouz right now.
And they're going to start laying into the tier 3. It's going to drop. Shards are out. Not going to find a target. Just no way for them to engage. And, I mean, even if Rubik were on level, I mean, now they're going to telekinesis try to get something done. The melee racks has dropped, and here comes the snowball, though. That's going to connect on Synderen. But Tusk has to withdraw immediately, but they got the melee racks, got what they needed the most. And they are going to be able to catch up as Synderen did steal the snowball, roll his team up, and pursue him down. But, and Synderen being a little lighthearted about it. And, unfortunately... they lose the racks, so even though he did make it back, not soon enough to keep things going.
And Nyx opts for a Desolator build as well as a Basher, so if he gets a lucky bash on AM, it's going to be even more painful for him during these Nyx bombs. And I must say, RoX.KIS has, their teamwork is very, very much improved from last game. They're making very good use of the Nyx and Lifestealer and Storm Spirit combo, finding a lot of kills around the map. And Nature's Prophet is actually very rich right now, 3,800 gold, so if he opts for Sheepstick, he'll probably have that in a few minutes.
And Solo gonna be teleported down. Didn't see where he went, actually. Oh, wow. It didn't go far. That was kind of pointless. But anyway, Orchid now done on the Prophet. So he has a method of shutting down the Storm Spirit. Speaking of Orchid, Storm has his own. But things continue to feel quite out of reach. That gold and that experience graph just keeps going further and further south.
Yeah, I guess it's not terribly important for Storm to have... I heard Storm jump. I got a little bit scared that I was missing some action, but it's not terribly important for Storm to have that many items because they have Nyx and Weaver. They have like 3 heroes that can do a lot of damage late game, and even Tusk if he opts to get some more items. And he's jumping in. Is he going to find Synderen?
Looking for a target, unable to. Yep, he's just going to go ahead and Make the circle. Basically made one big-ass circle. In the meantime, the rest of his team has set up shop in the Radiant side jungle. They're going to look to collapse on that bottom tier 2. Pretty typical stuff. Take the jungle away from the anti-mage, strangle them out, and look at Weaver doing what we knew he would. He's actually opted for a Manta instead of an MKB. That's fine. But still, just able to melt towers so quickly due to Geminate attack.
And we see a gem pickup on the Keeper of the Light, probably to shut down any sort of vision that Mouz has so that they can't see these Nyx bombs coming. They really need to shut down this AM's farm, and they are doing it quite successfully.
Gonna see a TP reaction. The top RP spent on Solo immediately. And out comes the Lifestealer. He cleans one up. Now Black might be in trouble. Will he get bashed? He does. That's unfortunate. You said it. There was gonna...
What a timely bash.
Yep. One unfortunate bash, and Black pays the price, and now all of a sudden, bingo. That right there is why teams ban the Keeper of the Light. Illuminate sucks, Chakra Magic's awesome. But that right there, what we just saw, the fact that he brought Lifestealer back down to push here, that is why the hero is so damn strong.
Unfortunately, he won't be able to bring Stormsphere back when he revives. Magnus is forced to buy back, but he still has RP on cooldown, another 70 seconds. So this might be the second RoX for RoX.KIS.
Enfeeble on the Lifestealer does chip away his damage a bit. Tusk buys back, now they're going to engage. Posh uses Fiend's Grip, and Force Staff not enough to break the channel, though. There's the skewer, and that might be enough, actually. It is, to clean him up at the very least. Syndering going to be forced to run for the well as Tusk did arrive. Weaver playing a little chest out, but doesn't really matter, given how survivable he is with the Manta and the Lincoln Sphere. Here comes Black, ready to fight again. Keeper of the Light trying to make it away. There he's silenced out, and Black going to engage. Mana Void, not really necessary, Black. Probably best you hung on to that, buddy. But anyway, they don't get the racks, they do get another tier 3, and this game is going to continue despite the fact that RoX.KIS just continues to get further and further ahead.
Yeah, not a bad trade for Mouz, though. I mean, they did kill the Nyx, and they did lose a T3 tower, but on the bright side, anti-mage is pretty close to his Manta style, just a couple hundred gold away.
All right, so let's real talk. Let's wrap here for a minute. No BS. Casters always want to try and make it sound closer than it is. We want to create drama and tension. From a purely analytical point of view, at what point does this anti-mage all of a sudden go, okay, there's an anti-mage who's behind to, oh crap, anti-mage is farmed?
I mean, I don't think we'll see it this game where we're like, oh no, anti-mage! But, I mean, Manta with Empower, I mean, they can still come back. I'm really worried about this next Roshan, though, that's up in 1 minute's time. If they get that on Nyx, it's really going to be really difficult for them to win a fight. They did win this fight down here, even without RP, though. That was a very nice script by the Bane there. But unfortunately, I don't think they have the farmed AM that they need in order to win this game. But it's still, I mean, they still can come back if they have a huge RP into a Mana Void combo. That could be a team wipe. Things aren't completely over.
Well, here's the thing that stands out. When you look at what they have available to them, and what they're up against, 2 of the top 4 belong to them. They've got, in 4th position, the Anti-Mage. He is quite a ways behind, though. He is 7,000 gold behind the Weaver at this point. Weaver's number 1. What they do have going for them is Quigfa. Quigfa has slowly been accumulating a mass pile of gold, as nature's prophets are wont to do. He's got himself an Orchid. If he decides to go Orchid plus Sheepstick, when you look at the lineup that RoX.KIS has, I feel like they actually might have the chance to fight their way back into it if they can turtle out. I mean, they are lacking 1 melee Rax in mid, which basically means they can't lose another fight. They lose another fight against the mobility that RoX.KIS has, they're just going to take that naked Rax at bottom. There's no question about it. But if they can challenge this Roshan, it all has to begin here. If they can challenge this Roshan and then get some good plays, locking down the Weaver with the Silence, with the Orchid, or with the Scythe of Ice, get some good plays on the Nyx, I feel like they could have a very long shot on the outside. But if they don't challenge this Roche, they may as well just GG, really. At least that's the way I see it. And it doesn't look like they have any interest in doing so.
Yeah, I think they kind of want to. They have a smoke and a gem up on Magnus right now, but they definitely won't get there on time. It's already at 3,000 HP and falling very fast. Mouz in no position to contest Roshan right now.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know this is where they are. And down it goes. And they're actually going to stick that on Weaver. Don't mind that at all. He is beginning to hit very, very hard. But again, I mean, if you're just going to give up a Roche without contesting it, you're basically ceding the game. I mean, that was your one big chance to try and catch them in the perfect position for an RP.
Yeah, and Storm Spirit was forced to defend top along with a Nace inside of him. And Storm just looks like he picks up poor Synderen again.
That is a very sad Synderen. Lag issues, death issues. Dude has died a lot. He's 0-10. He's halfway to his Milk Award, if they were going to win. I am with you, though. Don't think that's really a possibility. And Solo is going to grab himself a passenger. They're going to move back out, trying to find someone. There's Koikva spotted with the dust. The RP, though, is there. They're going to clean one up, and they may get both. He turns to go to work on Koikva, but the skewer's there. And RoX.KIS is working hard to throw this game, man. I rarely use that word, but why? I don't know. I do not know. This just does not feel like the best Dota I've seen, to be honest. They are going to pursue out Koikva, who goes to the north. Black is going to be able to blink away. But Dread not giving up the ghost. And yeah, Black finally gets rid of that stupid slug. But should be able to make it away. But yeah, they just gave away a couple of kills. And I mean, how many times have we seen it before, man? Synderen's gone again, by the way. But how many times have we seen it before? Teams let teams hang around, and all of a sudden, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, you wonder how the game ever got close again.
They're still not completely out of this game, man.
Yep.
Anti-Mage still sitting at 3,000 gold. He's come quite a long way from his, 20-minute Ring of Health and Treads, right. I think. But they still have the Weaver to worry about. Weaver was not there in that whole top engagement, and he is the Aegis holder. Still another 4 minutes on that.
The only thing that worries me about a Weaver being the biggest on the map for you is when, and it looks like, will be a Scythe of Ice most likely coming out on Koikva. Between those two items, if he's able to get a hold of the Weaver and hold on, Koikva is going to be spotted out. So RoX.KIS, nope, they did have dust. A little bit of a stutter there, but throwing out the dust, getting him off the board's a big deal. And does he have buyback? He does if he wants to use it, but yeah, this might be finally the beginning of the end.
Yep, he's definitely going to have to use it for this. Weaver pressuring bottom. If they don't do anything about this, they're going to get megaed.
And Synderen dewarding, or that actually is Synderen. He did join the game. There's the buyback. Dread's going to like 3-shot Synderen. Watch this. Give or take. But anyway, we see they're going to go ahead and go for it. There's the Mana Void used to clean up the Storm. And now with the Fiend's Grip, decent amount of damage done. Tusk rolls in, laying down the pain train. But they do lose the Lifestealer. There's the skew. Wow. RP's fit just to get the Aegis off of Dread. Would have been a lot better if he'd have held on to that. Pretty sure they would have gotten him without it. They do have detection. Now he is silenced. This is what I was talking about. If they can catch him, he's going to have Skewer up in 15 seconds. There's Koikva. And unable to track him down as he did use time-lapse. Head back to from whence he came. 19-36. And they continue to try and hold this game together. Still just that one set of melee racks gone.
Yeah, Storm just dies to every Orchid. It seems like he needs a BKB. He did get a Ghost Scepter, but I think he mostly just dies just because he gets silenced and can't do anything about it. They have a fair amount of magical damage to cope with it. Mana Void if he jumps from a long way. Nature's Prophet Ultimate. Tried to skewer him back, but unsuccessful.
And we can see Dread still being annoying as he can. He is hitting quite hard now, hitting for 350, or excuse me, 270. 260, that's the number that's correct. 260 damage per auto attack. Bolstered, of course, by Geminate attack. But anyway, they look at the gold. At the very least, they stop the bleeding. I mean, they still have an arm lopped off at the shoulder, but it's no longer bleeding. 15,000 experience separating the two teams. Right around 11,000. And we're going to see another kill. Looks like, Weaver got himself a free kill here near the mid former side of the tier 2.
Synderen is just dying to like 2-3 hits, especially now with that he has a Daedalus. He crits for around 600 damage, which is the majority of Rubik's life at this point in the game. He only has, I don't even know how much HP, probably around 800.
Stop feed, Synderen. Stop feed. RoX.KIS moving back down towards the Radiant side jungle. Black isolated up top, was mana leaked. Blinks and is going to go ahead and TP away. And here we go. Keeper of the Light. Gonna be, where are they bringing him to? Actually bringing him up top. And a little late on that, but I guess it's worth trying. But Mouz is turtling this out as best they can. Back to black. Oh, hang on. There's an RP. It's going to be spin on Dread. He is stout. That's what I was talking about. The problem with having a Weaver as the most farmed hero on your team is that a couple of things go right. You get a good silence off and you have one good disable, and you can do that. Force a buyback.
Yeah, he's just a little bit out of position. There's no reason for him to be pushing middle by himself at this point in the game. But he does buy back, and they will have recall up in case he wants, or I guess they already recalled him. He's already in the lane. And Nyx is inside solo right now, so let's see if they can make good use of the Sorcerer Bomb, as they have so many times before.
Anti-Mage, hoofing his way back. Better hope he's not spotted. And there's the glyph. There are the ice shards thrown up to the high ground, and he managed, didn't see what he got actually. Now there's going to be a mana leak. He did get Shikuchi. Now they're going to engage. Here we go. Solo engages, catches the Magnus. Mag does not have RP anyway. Mana Void's there to do some good damage. Gets a skewer up before he drops. Black in the meantime is cleaned up. He's going to buy back immediately. Syndra trying to do what damage he can. Koikba next on the kill list. He drops as well. Pos is still up and standing. Fiend's Grip on cooldown. They lose the tier 3. The Lifestealer's still up and fighting. And they are going to go ahead and back out at least momentarily. Black's there, and now he's going to be silenced out, caught with the Vortex. That should be that. Would imagine the GGs will come out now. Full team white, buyback's not really a reality. And RoX.KIS, in a game that took quite some time to put behind us, they roll to what I think most of us suspected was going to be a victory 20 minutes ago. As is, though, we get our first Game 3 of our first day here at the Curse Invitational, powered by Alienware. So, Merlini, let's talk about it, man. Seems like we've been talking about this game for the last hour, because we basically have. Where did things go wrong? Tell me the big turning point where things went against Mouz.
It just seemed like they didn't have anything going for them in the triple lane, and Magnus didn't really help them out at all, but it was just kind of lost from the start in the triple lane. They don't have any damage at all. Rubik, again, no damage. Nightmare, no damage. And then all they have is this anti-mage that has somewhat of a good tank ability with promo range shield and sufficient regen, but they didn't have enough rain around the map. Furion can't really apply pressure to solo Nyx, even though he tried his best. But he can't take it down his tower, and Magnus can't really solo kill Storm Spirit, even though he did. They did things that weren't supposed to happen. Furion killed the Nyx up top, and they had the Magnus in middle, but Magnus solo killed the Storm Spirit in the middle. But again, just not enough for this AM on bottom. They tried to babysit him as best they could, but the two heroes and their lineup in general just didn't really seem to work well in this early game. And then once you fall that far behind, it's really hard to come back, especially with that far of a life stealer.
41 minutes, 37 seconds, the official game time. 21-43, a game which saw 64 kills notched in 41 minutes. Mouz drops it. RoX.KIS forces the Game 3. I'm EC, joined by Merlini. We're getting down to the deadline of our next match coming up, so we're going to be turning this around quick. Go grab a beer, smoke them if you got it, but don't go too far. We'll be right back here on the Invitational, powered by Curse and, of course, by Alienware.